Today's segment, we're going after northern pike a little bit differently. We're going to be jig fishing northern pike, and we're up on Devil's Lake, North Dakota, a fishery that's loaded with northern pike of all different sizes. And the beauty of Devil's Lake is the pike bite all winter long. A lot of lakes in the Midwest, you got to ice fish them early season or late season, and on Devil's Lake you can catch them throughout the winter. We're going to be fishing them in shallow water in areas that have current in them, because that's attracting these northern pike in the winter. In today's segment, I'm joined by Zippy Dahl from the Perch Patrol Guide Service. He's been guiding up here for 15 years. We're going to talk about Devil's Lake as a pike fishery and show you some cool tactics for catching northerns with a jigging rod.
That thing hit like a ton of bricks.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's one. Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's got some heart. This one. Well, today, Roger, we're fishing very shallow, as you can tell. You know, we're in about 5 feet of water, and actually 3 feet of it's ice, so there's not a lot of room to see them on the electronics.
You want to have a rod that's got some backbone to it, some length and some backbone, and fish with braided line. If those fish are taking runs under the ice and pulling that line along the bottom of the hole, you're less likely to break off.
One thing about our northern fishery, they successfully reproduce every year, and we've got tons of them. Our lake is full of these, you know, what we're caught here so far, these 3 to 6 pound pike. That's probably, I would say, the majority of our population. You know, our lake record is just right over the 30-pound mark, and that was just set, I believe, 2 springs ago. The key to jig fishing pike in shallow water is just every once in a while give it a nice jig, but main thing you got to do is kind of hold it still quite a bit, because there's not a lot of room under that ice. You know, like I mentioned, we got 3 feet of ice and 5 feet of water, so there's only about 2 feet there. So, I mean, it's important to jig it once in a while, so to have that attraction, so they can see your lure from far off distances. But once you never know when they're coming in, so you want it to be fairly steady so they can examine it and hit it.
You don't have to be too particular in what lure you're tying on for these shallow water pike. They're going to strike just about anything that you put down there. But day in and day out, you're probably best off going with flutter spoons. See how thin that spoon is? The nice thing about a single hook is it's a lot easier to get out of those fish. The treble hooks, a lot of times they get wedged in the corner of the pike's jaw, and they're kind of a tussle to get out of there. But day in and day out, those thin-bladed flutter spoons are going to be your best. Colors like chartreuse and green and yellow are going to probably trigger the most bites. I think it's a northern.
Oh, any bets?
They're getting any bigger?
Oh, this one's a little bigger, I think. Get them all wrapped up.
Nice pike. 24 incher anyway.
Yeah.
Huh? There we go. Oh yeah. You know, keep a couple to eat. You know, you take the Y bones out of them; they're delicious. Sometimes they'll, just like if you were fishing, you know, spear fishing, and you had a decoy down there, they'll just come up and they'll nose it. They'll decide if they want to eat it. Like right there. He's got a bad attitude. He's bigger than I thought. You know, you catch him with, you got 2 feet of water to work with. They don't give you a whole lot of room to maneuver. Look at the markings on that too. What a beautiful fish, you know. State limit for northern pike is 3, but on Devil's Lake you can keep 5, and you can keep 10 in possession. 5 daily and 10 in possession. So, you know, if you're up at Devil's Lake and you like to keep some fish to eat, 10 northerns, you know, any size, there's no slot limit on it that you want to bring home. And you can bring 10 walleyes home, and you can bring up to 80 perch. So if you come up here for a winter fishing trip, you're going to get a bunch of fish to bring home to eat. Get your deucer out for you.
Yeah, make yourself useful there, Raj.
There we go.
Thank you.
You can certainly do this type of fishing. You know, like we said, we're fishing a shoreline or a shallow bank, but you could do this on a weed line on a lake near you. It's a nice one here. Get a grip on him so I don't have to put a hook in my hand. There we go. Look at that guy. Boy, and that spoon is right down his mouth.
Ice fishing for northern pike sure are fun with tip-ups, but boy, when you find them in a concentrated area, it's hard to beat fast action on a jig rod presentation with the rod and reel.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun to be able to feel the fish strike and reel them in with a rod and reel versus pulling them in hand over hand on a tip-up. You know, there are lots of great places to catch pike in the wintertime, but Devil's Lake, North Dakota is a place where there are loads of northerns, and you're going to catch a lot of fish if you come here and ice fish for them. If you'd like more information, you can check out the Visitors Bureau website, or you can give them a call toll-free at 800-233-8048, and they'll send out a packet of information on all the accommodations and lodging. Get your trip planned to come up to Devil's Lake in the wintertime and do some pike fishing. Zippy, thanks very much. As always, a lot of fun.
It's a pleasure having you again, Roger.
I'm Roger Cormier with Zippy Dahl from the Perch Patrol Guide Service, and we'll be right back with more Midwest Outdoors.